Good morning. We're live coming from our homes. My name is Mariana, and I have Tom and Paul with me today on Synergy in Motion, and we're going to be talking about sleep. Do we ever get enough? I mean, really, I don't know about you guys, but I always seem to be pushing the snooze button and trying to get more sleep. So, Tom, do you want to go ahead and open up and
Okay. Talk a little bit about sleep and health and fitness and stuff like that.
yeah. How does
Okay.
it, do we get enough? How do we know we have enough?
Well, I think everybody's different and it goes by age groups.
Mhm.
So it's really going to depend. But from a fitness point of view, weight loss, wellness, getting in shape,
Mhm.
typically if people aren't getting enough sleep, then they could put on at a minimum an extra 10 pounds of weight.
Mhm.
And if people have experienced, like, say, plateaus in their workout program, or they're fatigued, or they don't have energy, one of the things that they should do is probably look at their sleep patterns. Um, a lack of sleep can give your body, can do a couple things to your body. From research, what they say is that if you're not getting enough sleep, then it could make you want to eat more high calorie, high carb, or even high fat foods the next day. For some reason, just physiologically, I don't really know, the science behind it, but it's been
Mhm.
proven in research that lack of sleep makes you eat bad food. Um,
Mhm.
and so, those who consistently get an inadequate amount of sleep have been known to consume 300 more calories per day than those who get 7 to 8 hours of sleep per day.
Wow, really
Which
that
is,
much?
yeah, yes.
That's
I
crazy.
mean, you're looking at, trying to get 7 hours of sleep. I know a lot of people's schedules um, don't warrant that, but I take a nap like almost every day because I just sometimes can't get 7 hours in the night, and that seems to help me also. Another thing that we've learned is that if you don't get enough sleep, then you have less lean muscle mass. So
Hmm.
that goes back to, muscle pushes fat, strength resistance training is going to push fat. So muscle plays an important role, as we know, in burning calories. And the pituitary gland, which is actually at the base of your brain right here, produces a growth hormone needed for muscle mass. And the production of this hormone mostly occurs during sleep. So that's the tip.
Mm.
The pituitary gland secretes a hormone only when you're sleeping, and you need this hormone for lean muscle mass. So, do you get that one?
Hmm. That's
So, if you're not getting enough adequate sleep, your body is not producing the optimal amount of this growth hormone, and this can lead to, you know not less than optimal muscle mass. So that's another thing why we need to be looking at our sleep patterns, because it's going to inhibit us from building or having lean muscle mass, which is going to inhibit us from being able to burn calories. Okay. Um, One of the
okay.
other things, I read a couple of things. I read things all the time, but one thing would be about sleeping in the dark and distractions. So a lot of people, I mean, for me, I don't have to have it blacked out, but I like to have some shades and stuff like that. And the experts or the scientists have gone on to say your curtains should be pulled, um, everything should be turned off, TV, cell phones, laptops, to
Mhm.
reduce the amount of light and sound in the room. I had read an article the other day on sleep, and it talked about even the clock next to you, the light that comes out gives off this EMF, this electromagnetic force that can keep you awake.
I've heard of that.
So
Like
I'm not saying,
red
get rid of
light.
your clock, but you might have to get a traditional alarm clock to reduce the amount of sleep, the amount of light in the room when you're sleeping. The
Mhm.
glow from TVs, cell phones, laptops, clocks, all that stuff like that can disrupt your melatonin. And melatonin is a hormone that controls your sleep and wake cycles. So you got to be really careful about your room too. I mean, I read something too about working to get rid of things before you go to sleep.
Hmm.
So one of the exercises was to write things down before you go to sleep to get rid of it out of your brain so you're not laying there tossing and turning. Sometimes it might mean getting up and writing something down. But you want to make your room as much or your sleeping area as much as a sanctuary as possible. So another thing, and I'll be finishing up with this and have one of you all start talking, but the last thing I wanted to talk about was the temperature in the room. So what the experts do recommend is keeping the room at a cool temperature. Now, what they recommend and what I could do, I can't do it. They recommend keeping the room at 60 to 67 degrees.
Wow.
And they say that this lowers your core body temperature. It can assist in better sleep. And if they say if it's too cool for you, wear socks to bed might help. But for me, I can't do that because back in the early 90s, I was hiking the Grand Canyon and I got really bad overheated and close to like a heat stroke, and I blew out my hypothalamus. So for me, I have to be in a room that's almost like around 70 degrees. And if I have to sleep with a t-shirt on or else I wake up like just soaked. So my point is that everybody's going to be different, and so you're going to have to like figure out what's the best way for you to sleep. Even though like they do sleep at a lower temperature, for me, medically or physiologically, I can't do that. But also what they're saying is like, there also could be a medical reason for inadequate sleep. And if, and we did talk about it a little bit, there could be sleep apnea, it could be some other things going on. So, what they're saying is like, try to get as much sleep as you can because it can assist you with weight loss, muscle growth, and giving you the energy that you want, need, and desire to get through the day.
Wow, that was like I learned something. Thanks, Tom. That was awesome. Yeah, there's so much out there that we don't even realize about sleep and how it affects us, and especially when it comes to fitness, I think a lot of people don't really take that into consideration. At least I didn't before. I know now that sleep is important for me, for my body overall, but the amount of hours that I get sometimes isn't enough, and I can feel it during the day, Excuse me. But yeah, like I don't even know what to say now because you said it all, Tom.
Oh, I didn't say it all. There's a lot to this now. Paul?
Yeah, I mean, you covered a lot of great points. I didn't know some of that stuff myself, and I've actually heard some different things too. Like, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Is that okay? Okay. She's laughing over there. I don't know what's going on.
I was laughing because when Tom was talking, you were just sitting there like, wow.
No, I mean, I just thought it was very interesting about, blacking out your room and making it a sanctuary and all that. And I actually was taught some different things when I was in college. I took a class in stress management, and one of the things we went over was sleep. And like you were talking about melatonin and our lack of melatonin. And what my professor was telling us was we should have like our blinds open, actually, so when the light shines in the morning, you get that melatonin. Now, I don't know, you said that your studies, what you've read, says black it all out. So I don't know what you're supposed to do. And then the other thing about the nap, and I'm just telling you what my professor said, was power naps are bad because, and I don't really know the research on this, but she said power naps are bad because you won't get the REM sleep, the rapid eye movement sleep, that repairs our body the most. If you're taking naps in the day, it's broken up, so you're not going to go into that deep sleep
Mm-hmm.
Your body needs to go into to repair itself.
Right.
Now, I just wanted to bring that up. I don't know what anybody's thoughts are on that, but that's what I was told back in college. I don't know if it's changed, but I just remember that because I was like, wow, I'm not supposed to take a nap. And I remember like going through this. I'd be like dead tired in the day. I'm like, okay, I can't take a nap. I can't take a nap. I have to like wait till the end of the day so I get that REM sleep. And anyway, that's getting too specific. I don't want to get too into that, but we do need that deep sleep. That's where our body really does heal itself. So going back to exercise, when we exercise, our bodies get broken down, our muscles get broken down. We get tiny little tears, and the best way for those tears to heal, because you want them to heal so you get stronger. If they don't heal, and you just keep working out, you don't get the rest you need. You're going to actually get weaker. You're not going to get stronger. You're going to experience burnout. So what you need to do is rest. Rest is really important, and this is one of the fastest ways to heal those tears, those microscopic tears, those small injuries in your muscles. Now, another thing with sleep is sleep actually increases your metabolism. So it suppresses your appetite and it increases your metabolism, so you're going to burn more calories. So it's important to sleep. Like Tom said, you can actually lose weight when you're sleeping, which I find interesting.
Yeah.
Because and the whole thing he said about the food, was it 300 extra calories? I found that very interesting too, because I hadn't heard that before, to be honest.
Yeah,
But
that's
yeah,
right.
I could probably go more in depth in some things, but basically we need to get our sleep. It's important. If you don't, even if you miss an hour of sleep a night, you're gonna rack up what's called a sleep debt, and so even if you're missing just an hour and you're thinking, oh, it's no big deal, I just missed an hour, you're going to rack up a sleep debt, which could go into different sleep disorders, associated disorders like sleep apnea, insomnia, narcolepsy, and restless leg syndrome. So these are, things you really don't want to be experiencing.
No, thank you.
So, it's very, very important. We all need different levels of sleep, but they recommend for adults to get 8 to 9 hours. Some people I think need more.
I'm actually good on 7, but that's like my minimum.
I think teenagers need like 9 hours at least. I don't know about kids, but
it's about 9 or 10 hours, I think. Whatever.
It just ranges.
Yeah, and just to touch a little bit. Sorry.
Go ahead. I'm gonna mute myself out so we don't echo.
Oh, okay. Just to touch a little bit what Paul was saying about deep sleep. That's like one of the most important times your body repairs itself. So like if you're missing hours in deep sleep, because I don't know if you guys know that there's different cycles, right? There's REM, deep sleep, and then whatever else is there, right? There's different stages. Those are the only 2 I have memorized. And deep sleep is the one that most people don't get enough of, and that's when you start feeling it during the day. If you don't get enough deep sleep, if you don't get your deep sleep, the body can't repair itself. It plays a really big role in maintaining the health and stimulating growth and development, repairing the muscles, boosting your immune system. All of these things are very important, and they happen during good quality deep sleep. I can say it now. That was all I was saying. I just wanted to add that.
Mm-hmm. And also, not getting proper sleep can cause heart issues, stroke, high blood pressure.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Diabetes, obesity, cancer, digestive issues. You can have headaches, depression, thyroidism, insomnia. There's just a lot of things that are connected. Not getting enough sleep. So it's very, very serious if you're not sleeping.
Yeah. And we are not doctors of any sort. So obviously, if you have more questions about sleep or you're not getting enough, go see your doctor, because it's obviously very important.
Yeah, I just wanted to add just some stats. We spend about 1/3 of our lives asleep. 1/3 of our lives asleep.
Crazy.
The required activity for normal motor and cognitive function. Lack of sleep causes lack of concentration, memory lapses, loss of energy, fatigue, emotional instability, lethargy. Car accidents, work accidents are all associated with lack of sleep.
Scary.
So, yeah, it's pretty. And then the other thing I want to talk about too, and this isn't really fitness related, that threw me off. This thing popped up there.
Sorry.
Is the night shift, our biological clocks, and so basically I don't know if it's our brains or whatever, but our biological clock is set up to have us feel sleepy at a certain time and have us awake at a certain time. And when you start interfering with that by, working a night shift, a graveyard shift, for example, our bodies just think right away that nighttime is time to sleep. That's when we're supposed to sleep. So it's like, okay, it's time to sleep. So you're fighting with your biological clock, which really can cause sleeplessness in the daytime too when you're trying to sleep. So if you're working in the daytime, you're trying to sleep. If you're working at night trying to sleep, it can be very difficult. I have actually experienced it myself, and for me, it doesn't work out. I know some people can go a while, but there are, sleep debts occur, and it is something you probably don't want to do for too long. If you don't have to, you probably don't want to do it for too long.
No.
Yeah.
You don't want to do it. I've worked third shift before a couple of times, and it was horrible, man. For me at least, it was long time ago. And
yeah, and the other.
and
I've worked.
What's that?
Well, I've worked the graveyard, and then I've worked in the day too. So I've worked I'll work a graveyard shift. Well, I work a day shift, get off at 4, and have to be back at 12 or 1.
Really?
And that's insane. That's just.
I know about that. I mean, I've done that when I worked just this one job at this computer electronics company. I think we worked 11 to 7. And some days I'd go to bed within a couple hours. Some days I wouldn't go to bed till 2 or 3. I was just all messed up. When I was in the Navy, especially when we were out at sea, it was really messed up because sometimes in the Navy you work 12 and 12, so we work 7 to 7. Now, if you had a watch, which means if you had to do a watch is you had to do something besides your regular job. If you had a watch, then you could maybe have, if you get off at 7, you might have the 8 to 12. You might have the 12 to 2, the 2 to 4. You might have to get up at 4 o'clock to do the 4 to 8. Or if we were doing some type of operations, you might end up staying up all night.
Wow.
So back to Paul's thing, that's where I got into taking naps because I wasn't getting enough sleep. So I think everybody's going to have to obviously talk to their doctor and look at their lifestyle to see if they're getting enough sleep. But I know for me that third shift and the broken shift stuff, and for me, thinking about it, I don't know if Paul was doing 2 jobs or if he was doing that rotating thing, but I know friends of mine, they I think it's 1 week they do first shift or 2 weeks, and the next time they go to second shift, then they go to third shift. It's how can you even get used to any type of routine, right?
Yeah, that's crazy.
You can't. It's tough.
Yeah, I knew a person who had a graveyard shift 1 day a week. I was like,
really?
How do they even think that you can live like that?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Now,
I don't get it.
Let me ask a Mariana question. How's your sleep been? Sebastian's 10, right?
Mm-hmm. 9.
So how's your sleep with having a kid? You had a baby, He's 10 years old. Like, how's your sleep?
Oh man, gosh, now you're making me think 10 years ago.
But I mean, even now, like, how's your sleep been, like, with having a kid? From a woman's point of view, I hear women don't sleep. So.
Yeah, you see, when I go to sleep, I'm a really heavy sleeper. Like, not much will wake me. Now, when he was newborn, I felt like I never slept because I was constantly concerned and worried. Like, I gotta check on him. So like my brain never shut off. Once he started sleeping through the night, I felt more comfortable and I was able to get a little more sleep. But in the beginning, man, well, like 5-6 hours.
Okay. All right. Okay. Mhm.
Yeah, so it was a little bit, it was hard for me because I loved my sleep and sleep loved me. Yeah, now I'm just used to 7 hours. My body can't really, if I'm laying there for more than 8 hours, I'm like in pain. I'm like, ugh, stiff.
So do you think that as he gets older, I've heard from women that have had older children and have younger children, that they go through this period of getting sleep at about this time in his life. But as they get into their teens and start sneaking out of the house, you start sleeping lighter again to make sure that they're around. Is that true? Is that going to happen?
I hope not, but, only God knows. I don't know. I'm praying that doesn't.
Good answer. Yeah, I just wanted to put a little mix in there about women because I know that women probably have different sleep patterns than men. So I just wanted to hear how you felt. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. You see, I find myself getting up early on purpose, even if I don't get like the full 7 or 6 hours or my 7 hours. If I get 6 hours, I'm like, okay, I gotta get up, just so that I have some like, before he gets up and starts running around. I don't know if that's the way it is for other women too, but.
Oh, it is. I mean, I see a lot of women posting online, and one friend of mine, I mean, you guys know who she is. Her name's Janet. I can't remember her last name, but she's one of our. She works with us, and she just did this book because she was staying up late, and she got some type of book that over 30 days teaches you how to or programs you to get up earlier. So now she's getting up at 5 and 5:30. And she's really liking it. She's getting more done. It's quiet time, she said, before her kids get up.
Yeah,
and
totally.
She said she's really going to like it when they go back to school because she can get up and not have to, and get things done. They're going to be, So I think that, a lot of women like that quiet time in the morning before their kids get up, even if it's just meditative, but they can just sit there and do nothing or do a little bit of work, but they just get some space before they have to be engaged or on, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And I find it like if I don't get that in the morning, I'll find myself staying up late until he's asleep, and then just kind of having my like quiet reading time or whatever. Mm-hmm. That helps too, just so I can like maintain my sanity. Although it's not all there anyways, but
Yeah. Now, does that help you from a meditative point? That if you need 7 or 8 hours worth of sleep, and you get 5 or 6. Does that quiet time help you get through the day? So are you more crankier or irritable if you don't get that quiet time compared to if you do get the quiet time?
Just trying to think back because I've never really paid attention to that.
Okay.
But, I mean, 5 hours no, I have to take a nap because I just start falling asleep everywhere. 6 hours, I think I can hang, just kind of like relaxing a little bit in the morning. Mm-hmm. But yeah, 5 hours, no, I know that for a fact.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good.
Awesome. Well, that was it. Yeah, that was awesome. Turned out really good.
I wanted to. I actually just want to make one more point that we didn't make. And they recommend, and this is for health and fitness too, they recommend going to bed and waking up at the same time every day.
Yeah, I've heard
A
of
lot
that.
of us, we're fine Monday through Friday. We pretty much wake up at the same time, go to bed at the same time, pretty much. But when that
Yeah.
weekend rolls around, then it's like, okay, I'm going to stay up all night and I'm going to sleep in, and that just messes you all up.
That's why Mondays are so bad for some people because their weekends are horrible as far as sleep goes, you know?
That's just something I wanted to bring up because that's very prevalent. You know, that's
Yeah.
I think everyone does that.
Yeah. You know, that makes me think of another topic later on, how alcohol affects your sleep and or fitness.
About those weekend parties, huh?
Well, that's what prompted me because I'm thinking
Yeah.
you're hungover. You know, I mean, I've been drinking 20-something years, so I don't even, I mean, you know, but anyway, you know, you're hungover. How does that affect your sleep? You get up,
Yeah.
you're groggy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's something we can talk about later.
Awesome. That would be a good topic.
Yeah.
I will